A candidate who just passed 10th and from a very small town, but now he's earning 65,000 rupees per month without having any degree. Oh, it's surprising to you, but let me tell you, this is real and it happens in reality if you join Merchant Navy. But let me tell you one more thing. What is this course I'm talking about? And what is the course fee structure? What are the career prospects for this? What is the job growth? How about the placements? How will you do that? And everything I'm going to talk about it in today's video in detail. So I'm your host Siddhantan and welcome to your favorite channel Merchant Navy Guruji. So let's get just started with what is this course I was talking about, which this 10th class candidate did and earning a good amount of salary. Well, this course is known as the GP rating course. The full name of GP rating course is General Purpose Rating Course. It's one of the courses which you have to do to join Merchant Navy. Well, then you will ask, what is this GP rating course? Okay, let me tell you. This GP rating course is a pre-seed training program which is designed to prepare candidates for entry-level onboard roles in the Merchant Navy. Let me tell you again, entry-level onboard roles. This is very specific, and why I'm just focusing on this, because most of the people don't get it. This is not for officer or engineers. This is for entry-level onboard roles. Okay. Now, why this GP rating course is unique? It is unique because it combines both deck and engine department training, unlike any other courses that focuses only on one stream. For example, if you take DNS or BSc Nautical Science, it only focuses on the deck department instead of the engine department with deck department combined. But if you focus, for example, on the BTech Marine, it only talks about the engine department things, engine department training thing. Okay, so GP rating is where the both engine department and deck department training has been given. Right? So in simple terms, if I have to tell you, a GP rating candidate is trained to assist officers in two parts. First, the navigation and deck operations. Second, engine room maintenance and machinery handling. So this dual exposures makes a GP rating one of the most flexible and practical entry routes into the maritime industry. And let me tell you one more thing. It is especially for the candidates who want to learn by doing things instead of just learning the theory. Okay. This is the most important part you should understand. If you are a person who loves to learn by doing things, then this is the course for you. Okay. Now let me tell you, one more important thing is to remember that GP rating course is not a degree course. It's a vocational course. Okay. What is, degree is better or this one is better, we will talk about in the latter part of this video. But let's now understand what is the eligibility criteria to do this course. Because now you understood what is GP rating course. Now you want to understand what exactly is the eligibility criteria for doing this course. Let's move on to this. Now let's just get started with what is exactly the eligibility criteria for doing this course. Now let's start with the very first eligibility criteria is the educational qualification. What is the eligibility criteria? What is the educational qualification is needed to do this course? First of all, let me start with, there are four different educational qualifications for doing this course. But let me start with the very first and the bare minimum. That is the 10th pass candidates. The 10th pass candidates can also do this course if you have 40% overall aggregate marks in your class 10th. You must have science and math as a compulsory subjects in the 10th standard. Also, you must have secured at least minimum of 40% marks in the English in the 10th standard. And you must have passed your 10th standard from a recognized board. So this is for the 10th pass. That's where I say this is the bare minimum. Now, let's come to the second part. The person who is doing or who has done the ITI course, or you have passed the ITI courses, okay, then also you can do the GP rating course. But there is a condition that you must have completed 2-year ITI course from a government approved institute. First of all. Second, you must have aggregate 50% marks in the final year of your ITI course. Third, you must have secured at least 40% of marks in English in the 10th standard. And let me tell you, there are only few of the ITI approved trades, which includes a list of 14 to 16 approved trades that you should be doing. Then only you will be eligible to do this GP rating course. Let me start with the very first one. First is the fitter, second is the mechanist, third is marine fitter, fourth is motor mechanic, fifth is turner, sixth is vessel navigator, seventh is instrument mechanic, seventh is electronic mechanic, eighth is electrician, ninth is mechanic industrial electronics, 10th is mechanic AC, and 11th is mechanic motor vehicle, 12th is mechanic draftsman, and 13th is welder. So if you have done ITI courses from all this approved trade, then you are eligible to do this GP rating course as per educational qualification. Let me tell you, as per educational qualification. Now let's move on to the third part. Okay, what kind of people other than this can do this GP rating course? The other part comes is if you have passed the 12th. So 12th pass candidates can also do this GP rating course. 12th pass from any stream, arts, commerce, science, any stream. You can do this. Only needed condition is this: you have must pass the 12th from a government recognized board with at least 40% aggregate marks and must have at least 40% marks in your 10th or 12th with subjects English, math and science. Okay, sorry, English. You must have at least 40% marks in your English in class 10th, and you must have science and mathematics as a compulsory subjects at your 10th standard. This is what is needed if you are a person who has passed 12th from any stream, okay, and from a recognized government board. Okay, not government board, but from a recognized board. Okay, now let's talk about another part which no one talks about, which no one tells you. There is the fourth educational qualification needed and is been there for doing GP ready course. That is diploma or degree holders. Now, what is the best thing happens with the diploma degree holder? Many of the people who have done diploma or degree, they think they cannot do this course because they may have passed or labs or time lapse or whatsoever. But let me tell you what is exactly needed. The diploma or degree from a recognized institution, you must have this. Second, basic requirement is the same. You must have passed 10th with 40% aggregate marks with science and maths as a compulsory subject. Third, English proficiency, you should have at least 40% marks in your 10th standard. And the degree or diploma must be done from a state or central government or AICTE approved institutes only. So this is overall 4 important educational qualifications which is much more needed for anyone to do this course called GP rating. Now let's talk about the age limit. Moving on to the age limit, the minimum age limit to do this course is 17.5 years. That means 17 years and half, like 17.5 years. If you are a person who have just crossed 17 and you're thinking, then just wait for 6 more months and you will be eligible to do this course. Now let me tell you the maximum years. The maximum years is 25 years at the time of commencement of this course. Sometimes we think that the time of commencement of the course will be the time when the course is exactly starting. So some of the times people get very confused with this kind of things. Okay, so I'm repeating, 25 years at the time of commencement of this course. But there are few of the age relaxation thing no one talks you about, and you cannot get benefited because of you do not have this information. Let me tell you, for SC or ST candidates, their age relaxation is plus 5 years. That means your maximum age reaches up to 30 years. For OBC candidates, it reaches plus 3 years. That means your maximum age limit will be 28 years. Now, for women candidates, how can we leave our sisters and sisters? Not talk about, let's say everyone is there. So let's talk about the women candidates. They are getting 2+ years for each category. Let's say if you are from SC/ST candidate, then you are getting at least 32 years of maximum age limit. OBC candidates 30 years, and general candidate you will have the maximum age limit criteria of 27 years. Now, if you know this, you will get this benefit of knowing this age relaxation now. Now let me talk about the eyesight requirement which is needed. Okay, so you should have minimum unaided vision of 6/6. You should not have any eye disease or defects in your eyes. You will have a full and free eye movement with normal pupil response. You should have good binocular vision, no color blindness. With color blinded test will be taken by ECRA chart. And if it is found, then you will be rejected at the time of medical. Okay. Now, let me tell you one more thing about the medical examination. Okay. So when you say medically fit, you should have this thing that the candidate must be medically fit as per the merchant shipping or medication rules, medical rules exam, and as per amendment. So medical fitness must be including eyesight and hearing standard as prescribed. Also, the medical fitness certificate must be issued by a DG shipping approved doctor, which is mandatory. You should must have it. So they will check everything: eyesight, hearings, any other problems. They will ask you anything if you have problem, and they will then evaluate if you are a medically fit candidate for joining merchant navy or not. Okay. Also, one more important thing I have to tell you. I think no one have ever told you this, that the visual tattoos on your neck or on your face or on your hands can get you rejected by the shipping companies. This is harsh truth. No one tells you about. Why? Because maybe with institute, if you want to go and if you have tattoos on the hand, neck, or in your face, and if you go for doing this GP rating course in any college, they will not ask you, oh, remove it or don't come in. They will ask you, hey, come, do this course. It's okay. But when you go for placements, when you sit in interviews, the shipping companies will see these visual tattoos and some of them rejects you straightforward. Okay. That's why I'm saying I ask you to remove this and recommend this, that if you remove this, you should remove before joining this course itself. Okay. That will be better for you. Now, also, one more important thing is you should know that the selection criteria is done by a written or oral test in English grammar, math, science, and general knowledge. And syllabus of this selection test is based on 10th standard class. Okay, class 10th. Why I'm saying this selection test? It's not obvious that every institute who is conducting GP rating course is asking you to give the selection test. No, it's not. But there are some of the institutes which they have launched their own test and they ask you to give this kind of selection test. In order to filter, if there are so many people, if there are so many applications, they want to filter according to their batch size. With the minimum batch size is 40 students. So if they want to filter, how can they filter? They can put a selection test and then according to the selection test, they put and select only 40 candidates. Think about this. These 40 candidates have to give this written test as well as oral test in English grammar. Okay. Now let's talk about, you already know what is the eligibility criteria as per the educational qualification, what is the age limit, how exactly you should have the eyesight, that means how exactly your medical fitness will be evaluated, and all these things. Now you will ask, what are the documents required to do this course? Now let me just tell you very fast, the documents which can be comprehensive. You can say, hey, this much document is not required, but I'm giving you a comprehensive list of documents required for this course. If it is additional, then you're good. But if it is lacking, then you will be in a big trouble at the time of admission. So let me give you the documents needed. The very first is the 10th mark sheet. You must have the 10th mark sheet with you, original one. Second is the birth certificate. Third is the passport. If you have applied, or you should have applied. If you have it, then it's okay. If you have applied it, then you need this receipt of if you have applied for the passport. That is much needed to apply for GP rating course. Okay. The fourth is the medical fitness certificate from a DGS approved doctor that you are medically fit for joining merchant navy. Now, fifth is 4 to 6 passport size photo, which is much needed, will be of a recent one, not the older one. The recent one will be required for the documents. Now, let's move on and talk about much more dive into the course details. Now, let's dive deeper into this course details of what exactly is the GP rating course will cover. What exactly will you learn in the GP rating course? Let me start first with the course duration. The GP rating course duration is of 6 months. Yes, it's a vocational course and it is of 6 months of duration. So during this time, you will learn and you will go under the intensive training that balances classroom learning, practical workshops, physical conditioning, safety drills, discipline building, and routine building. Because the goal here of this course is very simple: to make the candidate SIP ready, not just the certificate ready. Okay. Now you will ask me, what you will learn in the GP rating course? This GP rating course syllabus is designed around real SIP board requirements, not academic theory alone. So, in the deck department training includes seamanship row work, cargo handling frame fundamentals, watch keeping assistance, deck maintenance, emergency response duties. And if you could talk about engine department training, it will include engine room familiarization, machinery maintenance basics, welding and fitting, tool handling, and lubrication systems. And if apart from deck and engine department, you will also cover something called mandatory STCW modules. If you're not aware of this, what is this STCW modules? I have given the description for this STCW course in the description. You can go and check about the STCW course. What are the modules you will cover? But this STCW course is included in the GP reading course. So you have to do the STCW course. And as I said in this video, that if you want to join anything, any type of SIP in Merchant Navy, you must have done the STCW modules or STCW course, which is actually included. So, in order to meet the international compliance, because Merchant Navy is not limited only to a country, it is a global thing. Okay. So, and now let me tell you, this is the course where a student does not have 10 to 12 lakhs of money to do these things. This is the best for them. If you don't have the option to invest or spend 10 to 12 lakhs of money on studies, this is the best course for you. Okay. Now let's talk about, as I'm talking about 10 to 12 lakh investment, I must tell you what exactly is the course fee, right? So the GP reading course fee varies based on the infrastructure, training quality, and accommodation facilities. So on average, GP reading course fee in India can range between 2 lakhs to 5 lakhs. And now you'll say, 5 lakhs? Really? No. You are saying something fishy here. Oh, let me tell you. Let me explain you why I'm saying 5 lakhs. 2 lakhs is the starting point, but 5 lakhs, why? Because 6 months of pre-C training, followed by a 6 or 9 month of structured SIP board training, you will have to pay around 5 lakhs. If you want 6 to 9, see, only for 6 months of training, you will be paying around 2 to 3 lakhs. Okay, in between, because it varies on the infrastructure and other things and the training quality. But let's say, for example, if you are going to do this GP reading course from Great Eastern Institute, you will have to pay 4,47,218 rupees. Why, you will ask? Because they will give you 6 months of a structured SIP board training apart from 6 months of GP reading course training. Apart from this, so it becomes 12 months, right? And if you talk about, 7 Island Maritime Training Institute, they will ask you 4,88,550 rupees for GP reading course, because they will also be giving you 9 months of structured SIP board training apart from your 6 months of GP reading course. So you should understand, if a very reputed or DGS approved institute is asking you more money, then you should ask the reason. First of all, you should inquire about the reason, because this generally includes, the fee generally includes tuition and training, practical workshops, uniform and safety gear, and also food and accommodation. So the candidates must confirm and always confirm what is included before enrollment in the course. Okay. And let me tell you one more thing. If an institute which is DGS approved, and they are not telling you they are going to give you a structured SIP board training, and they are asking you more than 3 lakhs, then that's a red flag for you. Do not go into this. Okay. You should understand why I'm saying this. The SIP board structured training is where the fee can go higher. But if it is not included, then you should not pay more than 3 lakhs. Okay. Now let me tell you the placement reality check. Exactly. This is what you have been waiting for. So if an institute tells you 100% placement guarantee, that is a marketing line. That is not the reality, first of all. Because the placement depends upon the company tie-up with the college, your performance. Third is the market condition. And also, after doing or after completing the GP reading course, there can be a waiting period of 3 to 8 months of time. You should be aware of this also. Okay. Now, let me tell you about the one of the most important thing, that even if you have done the GP rating course in the 6 months, you can still not get the certificate. Then what is exactly going to stop you from getting the certificate? That's where it comes, the BES Exit Exam. Don't worry, I'm going to explain you what is exactly BES Exit Exam. Okay, so what is BES? First of all, it's a board engine seamanship, the exit examination conducted by Directorate General of Shipping, the DGS. Okay, that every GP rating trainee must pass to receive their officially certificate of proficiency. Okay, and the format of this exam is written exam plus practical assessment, which cover both separately. You will have the written assessment, separately, and also the practical assessment separately. Now, let me tell you the written exam subjects. These written exam subjects will include seamanship, cargo workshop, cargo work, ship stability basics, safety and survival, the rules of the road, the call rights basics, and firefighting. Well, if we talk about practical assessment, the syllabus will include knot tying and marline spike, seamanship, lifeboats handling, firefighting drill, first aid demonstration, and anchor work. So this practical is assessed by a DGS appointed surveyors, not institute faculty. So if you think that, if I do just kind of, favoritism, or there will be some kind of favoritism, that will not be there, because the institute faculty will not be there to take your practical assessment. It will be a DGS appointed survey. Okay, so be prepared. Now, what would be the common reasons for a student to fail in the BS exit examination? Let me tell you the first thing. Not taking the practical seriously. Poor knot work under pressure. If you're asked to tie the knot and you're not really good at doing that, then you will fail this examination. Now, your inability to answer the correct basic questions. So now I have to tell you the 3 basic preparation tips I'm going to give you, so that you can pass this BS exit examination with flying colors. I mean, with a very smooth way, right? The first 3 practical tips for the written examination is that you must practice past paper. Second, you must focus on correct rule 5, 8, 10, and from 13 to 18. 5, 8, 10, and from 13 to 18. Okay, and you should also learn stability terms. It's for the written exam. Okay, now 3 practical tips for assessment. First, practice knot daily for 2 weeks before the exam. Second, treat every drill in training as the actual assessment, so you will get yourself prepared for this. Now, third is study lifeboat equipment by name, because it will be most asked in this BS exit examination practical assessments. Okay, now you will ask me, hey man, what will happen if I fail this BS exit examination? And most of them think, may I will not, then I will not get the certificate, so my 6 months of preparation, the training is all gone, just vanished. No, it is not. See, you can reappear and clarify the reappearance window and fee from the institute, because you can reappear in this examination. Many students don't know about this and fear failing this course entirely if they fail this BS exam once. That means if you feel that, oh, if I fail this BS examination, I may not be able to clarify or clear this GP rating course. That's not the case. You can reappear anytime. There will be a window given, there will be a fee for reappearance, you have to pay for it. That is what is going to happen. Now let's talk about the most important point, career growth roadmap. So I'm going to take example, because after completing GP rating course, if you talk about the tech side, you will be a training OS. Okay, so let me tell you how exactly you will be, you will have the growth, you will have the promotions. Okay, so after being a trainee OS, you will sail for 9 months to get watchkeeping certificate by DGS, and then you will sail as an able seaman AD or OS for 12 to 18 months. Then you will become a bosun and you will sail as a bosun with certificate of proficiency. Then you will have the chance to appear for secondment exam, which is required a sea service of 36 months and watchkeeping certificate. Only if you have this, then only you can appear for secondment examination. And after clearing the second mate, you will become a third officer. And then there will be onboard promotion as second officer. Then you can appear for chief mate examination. And when you sail as a chief mate sail as a chief officer, then you can have the onboard promotion as a master or captain. And the same thing goes for Indian way pathway. If you think about, you become you want to go choose the Indian side, because you have to choose one side after that. If you want to go for career mode roadmap, what I want to become, I want to become a master, like chief engineer, I want to become a captain. You need to choose. So for Indian way pathway, when you start, you first go for, becoming this trainee welder or training, we can say training fitter and all those things. And then you will go to the Indian side and become motorman. Then again, engine fitter. Then after clearing competency examination, you will become fourth engineer. And then subsequently third engineer, second engineer, and chief engineer. This is the highlight. This is the hierarchy you will be going. Okay. I have not mentioned the timeline because the timeline can be so different. And when I have mentioned the 36 months, 12 months, or 18 months of the sea service, that means the time which is the duration when we were on the set. So you started this onboarding at, let's say, today. After the 6 months, you had your contract done. Okay. So you just came offshore and you just came home. So this 6 months of time is only be calculated or only be noted as a sea service by DGS. Let me tell you very clearly. Okay. Not your whole time, the only time when you serve on set. Okay. So you should also note that a GP rating course GP rating candidate who consistently sails and upgrades certificates can realistically become a second officer in 8 to 10 years. This is a reality. I'm not telling you something which is very strange. I'm telling you something which is real, which has happened with many of the peoples. Okay. So I'm not saying that you will become captain quickly. Let's be honest. Okay. So if you are getting 2-3 lakhs per month as a second officer, which is achievable under a decade, and when you have started from a 10th class student, like you have just started after 10th pass, it's really a big achievement. It's really a life-changing trajectory for any students from a modest background. Okay. Now let's talk about the salary after GP rating course. Okay. So let me take it for example how exactly it will be. But in order not to make you so confused, I will be telling you the salaries which can vary, okay, which can be range. So I'm putting you a range, and then you can understand what it could be, because it depends on so many things. I will talk about the factors that can affect the salary also. Okay. So when you are in entry level, as a freshers, you will receive on Indian ships 20,000 to 40,000 per month as a salary. But if you go on foreign going vessels, okay, you will receive $300 to $600, which is most in cases tax free per month. But with experience for 2 to 5 years of sea time, you will be becoming able seaman or motorman. You will be having 60,000 to 90,000 rupees per month as a salary. If you become bosun or engine fitter, you will have 1.2 to 1.8 lakh rupees per month. After promotion to officer rank via exams and seat time, you will become third officer or fourth engineer, and then you will be having a salary of 2.5 to 3.5 lakhs per month. And if you become chief officer or second engineer, you will have a salary of 4 lakh to 5.5 lakh per month. And if you become a chief officer, I'm talking about, and if you become captain later and chief engineer, you will have the salary of more than 6 lakh rupees per month, and it will be depending on the company and set time. Now let's talk about what are the factors that actually affects the salary. First is the type of vessels. The type of vessel can be container, tanker, bulk carrier, also, or any kind of other ships or vessels, right? The second is the shipping company and the flag. Here it matters. If you are going in the RPSL company, then you may not get much of the salary. But if you go in the ITF company, there may be higher salary for these roles. And the flag also matters here. Okay. Now the third point is rank and the sea time. Which rank you are serving on? What is the sea time you have covered till now? And fourth is currency exchange rate for foreign jobs. So some of the times you can see how exactly the dollar is behaving against the rupee. That can also change the salary. $300 previous to 10 years right now will not be the same what we have right now for $300. You can have the conversion rate on Google. You can calculate it easily. Okay. But let me tell you again, the actual salary may depend and vary based on vessel type, company policy, and market conditions. You should must be aware of this. Okay. That's why I didn't tell you the exact salary, because the exact salary can never be decided. Only the range can be decided. A company can pay you more also, a company can pay you less also. Okay. Now let's talk about who should and who should not do this course. Okay. Let's talk about who should do the GP rating course. You should do the GP rating course only if you have passed the 10th with science and maths. If you are between 17.5 to 22 years and you are medically fit, especially with no color blindness. You don't want to spend 3 to 4 years and 8 to 12 lakhs on a full degree. Okay. And you are comfortable being away from the home for 6 to 9 months at a time. 6 to 9 months, like in elongated way, in a consecutive months. Okay. I'm not talking about 6 months here and then 1 month, then another 6 months. No, not like that. You should have a 6 month or 9 months of consecutive time. Then you will be away from your home. So you should not be, think of like it is a very comfortable job. First of all, it is not that comfortable. You should be very comfortable staying away from the home. Okay. And now let's talk about who should not do this GP rating course. You should not do GP rating course if you want to become officer quickly. Because to become an officer, you should be doing DNS or BSc Nautical course instead. That will require you to spend a time of 1 year to 3 years instead of 6 months. Okay. If you are having color blindness or major eyesight issue, you should not do this course. Third, if your age is above 25 years, then you have an extremely limited option and you should not do this course. I'm talking about 25 years. That means I'm not talking about women candidates. I'm talking about the male candidates where the general category have the maximum age limit of 25 years. If you are a woman candidate from the general category, you will have the maximum age limit as 27 years. Okay. And you should also not do this course if you're looking for a SOAR based career, because GP rating is a 100% sailing dependent job. Okay. Let me tell you very clearly, if you are a person who is having a seasickness problem or who feels like homesickness, then you should not do this GP rating course also. If you want to become an officer, then you should not do this, because you can do better than this. If you want to engineer, then you can do BTech Marine, BSc Nautical or DNS. Okay. In that case. Now, let's come to the final advice and call to action. So I have first of the final advices is always verify the institute which you are going to enroll in, the DGS approved or not. You must verify this, because there are a lot of scams and frauds are happening in today's market. You will be asked that, if you go on the site, it will be DGS approved. No, you should also go on the DGS website and check if the institute is DGS approved or not. You should not get into this kind of a scam, first of all. Second, talk to the ex-cadets who have just passed from that college itself. Okay. So if you are thinking of doing, let's say, from ABC college, let's say I'm talking about for example, from ABC college that is, and then you're going to do this course. You should go and talk to the peoples or the candidates who have passed GP rating course from there, so that you can know the exact reality of what exactly is happening. And third, don't fall into the agent trap. There are so many people who are agents, but they are not RPSL agents. There is difference between RPSL agent and there is difference between fake or scam agents. Okay. You should be aware of which you are talking to. When you are talking to RPSL agents, if you ask about an institute's name, they will give you an institute name and that will be DGS approved. You can verify that. They will not be asking you, oh, I cannot disclose this. They will disclose this easily, because they know that if it is a DGS approved, you are not making it as a scam or you are not doing something kind of fraud. But if you ask from a fraud or a scam people, they will tell you, oh, hey, man, I will, answer these things when you are enrolled, when you have taken this course. When you come to the institute, we will explain you. See, first of all, everything can look so greener when you talk to an agent. But the reality hits harder when you go and check on the DJ's website about if that institute is DJ's approved or not. You should remember this. Now, you have to do 3 works after completing this video. Now, why I'm asking you to do 3 things? First of all, comment your age, qualification, and city. Okay? And I will tell you exactly if you are eligible for this course or not. Okay? Second, if you are like, if you are completing this video, I must ask you that if you are going to do this GP ready course, you must save this video, because the tips I have given for you to clear the BES exit examination, that will becomes very handy at that time. Okay. Now, third, if you have not subscribed to this channel, subscribe now and share with everyone. Okay, because I'm going to, expose some of the, fake and scams and the fraud job vacancies also in the upcoming videos. So you must be aware of what exactly is happening in the market in order to prevent yourself getting trapped into this kind of a scams or getting, because after getting into a trap or a scam, you will lose not only the, the money, you will lose time, you will lose energy, you will lose the mental health, the mental peace of your mind. So understand this very carefully when I tell you this, that you must be vigilant and aware of what exactly are you doing. You must check, verify from DGS approved sites and then go upon it. If you have any doubts or clarification is needed on the GP rating course, you can comment down and then I will give you the reply as soon as possible, maybe personally or maybe in the next video. Also, if you like this video, then don't only just put a like. You like this video, share with your friends or the friends you are aware of, maybe thinking of or dreaming of going into the merchant navy, or with any relatives if you are aware of, so that they can also prevent this kind of a scam and fraud which is happening in the market in the name of GP rating course, because it's the one of the courses which have been mostly used and mostly popular for joining merchant navy, but is also one of the the courses which is getting the name, use the name to get into the scam and the frauds also. Okay, and if you have not subscribed to this video or subscribe to this channel, you must subscribe this so that you can get the latest update of the job vacancies, of the market trends, of the scam and frauds, of the fake agents, fake agencies, and other courses details. Thanks for watching. Jai Hind.